1 hour of exercise. Daily exercise is just that. It's an opportunity to get some exercise. It is not an opportunity to live our lives. Fresh air at the front door, fresh air in your front yard or your backyard, or opening a window, that's what you're going to have to do.
High-powered drones will be used to find people not wearing masks and cars too far from home.
Social distancing is critical.
There is also a $200 penalty for not wearing a mask. And in the general scheme of things, even the $1,652 fine, where the maximum penalty that can be applied to you is $20,000.
Just recently, Dan Andrews said, until that vaccine is developed and then administered.
To every single Victorian, we will have to live with and embrace a COVID normal. Police will be out in force and you will be stopped.
Are you serious? Just for not having a mask?
Now, you might be asking yourselves, why is this happening in Melbourne, ladies and gentlemen? Pay attention to the symbolism of the Victoria Police Department, the Melbourne Police Department. It's a giant pentagram, ladies and gentlemen. They are the epicenter of evil in Australia, it looks like. It looks like we've discovered another Sodom and Gomorrah down under. And you've got the Victoria Police Department raiding, basically women and children, tearing them out of their homes, charging them with incitement. And you have to really wonder if this is anything more than just censorship, dictatorship, and terrorism, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, we know that Melbourne is at the center of this plandemic. I'm not sure what the video guy is doing right now. But we know that, in fact, this virus basically was birthed in the bioweapons lab right there in Melbourne, Australia. Moo cows. It was shipped back to Wuhan, and the plandemic began to roll out. We've covered this in previous broadcasts, but there's a reason why. Oh yes, this is COVID Dan in China, bringing his whole team in China day one of his administration to pledge his allegiance to the Communist Party, to sell out Australians and his constituency to the Chinese. But there's a reason why this is happening in Melbourne. There are no coincidences. There's a reason why this happened in Wuhan. There are no coincidences. The lab in Melbourne, the Geelong lab, and the lab in Wuhan were working together extensively to produce mutant coronaviruses, and one in particular, if not more.
There are reports the Australian government trained and employed a team of Chinese scientists, now the subject of a probe into the origins of the coronavirus.
Now, more than one government contributed to this report.
Did you hear that, ladies and gentlemen? They're investigating the origins of the coronavirus in their backyard. It came from them. It came from Melbourne. And now that people are asking questions about Geelong, asking questions about the lockdown, asking questions about COVID commander, Dan the Man, now they're raiding people at their homes for Facebook posts.
1 hour of exercise. Daily exercise is just that. It's an opportunity to get some exercise. It is not an opportunity to live our lives.
This guy is a radical. This guy is an extremist. Now, people out there think he's just, a normal-looking Australian. Oh, he has nothing to do with normal Australian. No blonde hair, no blue eyes, ladies and gentlemen. This guy is some kind of mutant that basically creeped out of the test tube and oozed into the television to lock you down and to infect you with his virus. This might as well be the Dan virus, the COVID Dan virus, ladies and gentlemen. And look at their uniforms. They're like Gestapo-like. They're telling you, we're going to lock you down. We're going to take your rights away. And if you dare step outside, we're going to choke the shit out of you. We're going to raid you. This is worse than East Germany. This is worse than the Gestapo. Who do these people think they are? And, they've been in the news and the socialist media platforms for the past couple days, raiding, terrorizing, poor, innocent little people that are just typing away at their computer and they're snatching everything. Like a bunch of kleptocrats, snatching computers, snatching phones. We're going to search through everything. We're going to probe you. I hope you got your Astroglide out there, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're ready for what comes next. To say the least, I'm not sure what the video guy is doing. But I know we've got more exclusive, disturbing footage from the scene. Don't ask me what the video guy is doing. But another party got raided for posting on Fakebook. It's bad enough that they're censoring people on the socialist media platforms. Now they're actually sending out the Gestapo, the goon squads, to break down your door and to haul you in for being a thought criminal. It's so Orwellian. It's so disgusting to see this in an English-speaking country. But these people are not free. They think they're free, but they don't have an Independence Day. And it's just like the movie V for Vendetta. What if our government infected all of these people? What if, ladies and gentlemen? And that's the question they don't want you to ask. What if these people on television are responsible for infecting you with their virus? Is that possible? The question you really have to ask yourself right now is, why is this not a doomsday virus? I mean, you've seen the Georgia Guidestones. You've seen the Agenda 21. These people
There
are
are
out
reports
to
the
kill
Australian
you.
government trained and employed a team of Chinese scientists, now the subject of a probe into the origins of the coronavirus.
The Australian government paid and financed the team responsible for the origins of this coronavirus. And they're locking you down, destroying your businesses, because that's what, these socialists, this Labour Party wants to do. They want to make you totally destitute so that you're fully dependent on the system, so that you have to work in one of these slave factories like Amazon or, what have you. No independence, no, individual life. You have to assimilate, you have to be, a clone, you have to be part of the Borg. Ladies and gentlemen, you have to be part of their communist Chinese utopia out there. And it just gets worse. The deeper down the rabbit hole you go. This whole left, Labor, Democrat, liberal, progressive, umbrella program is really a nightmare in disguise. They want to rape and molest and groom your children. They want to take everything away from you. Your rights, your money, your livelihoods, your freedom. They want to infect you. They want to make you sick. They want to make you so dependent on the system that basically the only way you can survive is if you're intubated.
What's happening? You can seal the bag when you've done the test.
You can seal the bag when you've done the test. You see, they're going door to door in Melbourne right now. And you can bet that soon they'll want to extract you or your kids for your safety. All of this is for your safety. They're breaking down your door for your safety. They're censoring you for your safety. They're testing you for your safety. And they're going to vaccinate you for your safety, ladies and gentlemen. And, of course, they will...
Officer and former president of the union hiding his face in court today as he was arraigned on child sex abuse charges. Patrick Rose is now being held on bail. NBC 10's Mike Manzoni is in West Roxbury for us, where Rose faced a judge today, Mike.
You just can't trust these people on television. You just can't trust these people that claim to be your authorities, because in fact they're nothing but tyrants abusing their power. They're not there to serve and protect. They're there to enslave and punish. Now we see COVID Commander Dan here with the Mr. Andrews, it looks like. Look at that chin. Look at that mouth. That's a dude. What is it with all of these libtards dating trannies, pretending like, you know, like they're regular people? You know, what these people are all about is essentially the inversion of reality. They want to call good evil and evil good and shove it down your throat. And if you don't accept it, you're some kind of conspiracy theory, you're some theorist, you're some kind of terrorist or radical or extremist. These people are evil, and the Bible tells me so. And it's just written all over, you know, their uniforms. It's written all over their talking points. You can tell them by their fruits, ladies and gentlemen. And, you know, all of these people essentially are in it together like a bunch of Charlie Manson groupies. I know we've got footage of the Cicero lab where it's all Sodom and Gomorrah. People drugged out of their minds, making, you know, the world's most dangerous viruses so that they can unleash it and infect you with it. And undoubtedly, you know, these people are experimenting with the innocent citizens in their backyards. It's always the people close by that get the stray bullet. And everyone in Melbourne has been victimized by this system, not just the Cicero, you know, bioweapons facility, but by this dictatorship that has basically stripped, you know, everyone of their rights, of their freedoms, more essentially, and is now terrorizing them in their homes for speaking out. You don't even have the right to communicate anymore in an English-speaking country in the modern world. I mean, look, we've gone back to, you know, the medieval ages, essentially. You have no rights. You're just servants, slaves out there that must do what they're told. And, you know, the problem with this virus, especially in Melbourne, is that they can just unleash strain after strain. This will be an endless, you know, reign of terror, thanks to the bioweapons facility right next door, thanks to the dictators on television, and thanks to, you know, the mainstream media out there that is pumping this shit, you know, all over the airwaves, causing, you know, brain damage with their content. I'm not sure where this footage is, but it's like right out of the movie V for Vendetta. And the guy's like, oh, the conspiracy theorist changed his mind after we sent the Gestapo to his door. And they're all singing the same song too, like, oh, you know, we don't want no trouble, ladies and gentlemen. And this is just, you know, the wrong tactic, you know, setting up a protest, you know, weeks or months ahead of time, saying, yeah, let's all show up over there so that they can kettle us in and microwave us and gas us and arrest us and the like. You've got to be more spontaneous out there,
Officer, former president of the union, hiding his face in court today as he was arraigned on child sex abuse charges.
There are pedophiles everywhere. You know, especially this LGBTP community. Everybody knows it. The Jimmy Savile case and many others, ladies and gentlemen.
On Sunday, more than 30 men who call themselves the Resistance gathered in the northern suburbs marching down busy Pascoe Road. They damaged property and stopped traffic in their bid to escape police.
The Resistance has begun in Melbourne. And obviously, you just got to show up, hit and run. I mean, that's guerrilla, you know, warfare tactics 101. And eventually you'll get there. Eventually, you'll realize they're coming door to door with the lethal injection. Eventually, you'll realize that they're going to totally lock you out of, you know, out of society if you don't get their mark of the beast. And we mean that quite literally, because you can already tell that this system is messed up just by looking at their uniforms. Just look at the way these people look right now. They got to wear the sunglasses because they're afraid of the light. They got to cover their faces because they're completely ashamed of what they do. And they've got to wear the pentagram because they're agents of the devil protecting pedophiles, Luciferians, and cult members. You know, they should all be ashamed of themselves out there, to say the least. You know, how many people are going to, kill themselves because of these lockdowns? How many people are going to lose their entire livelihoods and become, basically destitute because of these lockdowns? You know, if they wanted to stop the outbreak, they never should have released this virus in the first place. But now they want to come and tax you, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not sure what the video guy is doing. But there it is. There it is. It's right there on their uniforms. And they love tweeting this out like every other day. Come check out our pentagram. You know, it's like all of these celebrities on TV that are telling you that they've sold their souls to the devil. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the same thing. It's one big club and you're not in it. It's a bunch of Charlie Manson groupies and you're not in it. It's a bunch of pedophiles and you're not in it. And you don't want to be in it. You don't want to be associated with these people. But, their talking points now are essentially, if you don't sell your soul to the devil, then you're a fucking terrorist. You're a fucking extremist. You're some kind of conspiracy theorist. These people admit that they've sold their souls to the devil and that they want to rape little children. And somehow, if we don't go along with that program, then, we're some kind of thought criminal. Oh, for fuck's sakes, ladies and gentlemen. It is the responsibility of every free person out there to fight for their freedom. Countries are based on the idea of we the people, not, we are slaves of the government. And when government has become Luciferian and tyrannical, we have no choice but to resist. This is a holy war against the devil and its armies. And you're looking at some of its armies right now. And they can pretend that they're there to protect you. They can pretend that they're all about law and order. But these people are the real criminals, raping your children, unleashing the virus, and the like.